Hey everyone, right now I'm driving on the Ingram Highway in Florida's Everglades National Park. I asked the park rangers a couple of days ago, what's one of the best hiking trails that I'm allowed to camp on with alligators? And they told me that this would be the best trail to see alligators while camping. So I camped in this park about a week ago. I finally recovered from that hike because I was pretty sore after it. That was a flooded trail in the entire 6 miles, but it was salt water, so you wouldn't have been seeing alligators there. Slight chance of a crocodile, but we didn't see anything like that. So the road we're driving on right now was built back in the 1940s. The original old Ingram Highway is what we're going to be hiking today. It is a concrete road while this one is paved. The old road is in really rough shape, and we're gonna walk about maybe 8 miles of it to our campsite. Along that trail used to be farmland, but it has been returned back to nature as part of the park. So you might notice from the satellite images that everything looks a bit disturbed. That's because it used to be farmland, and they removed all the levees, everything that protected that farmland. They re-flooded it, so it's back to nature. There could be alligators anywhere along this trail. So we're gonna turn here towards Royal Palm. And this road's gonna get really bad in just a couple of minutes after we turn off where most people are going. And there's a sign saying Panther Crossing. Where we're going today is surrounded by swamp, so panthers and bears are unlikely in this area of the park, just because the only dry part is the old highway that we'll be camping on about 8 miles deep. Alright, and now we're gonna turn down here towards the abandoned missile site. And this road is gonna turn really junky up here in just a moment. Alright, here we are to the end of the new roads. Now, it says no outlet. Now this road here is by reservation only for camping and some other stuff, so we're driving on concrete right now, which looks like it's been kind of destroyed by attempted gradings over it, like them smoothing dirt and rocks over the potholes with a grader. That's what it looks like. This tunnel of trees is awesome. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm expecting this trail to maybe take 4 hours. It's flat, and we got about 8 miles to go. Supposedly, it's in pretty good shape. They recommend wearing fishing waders or bite-proof pants because there can be venomous snakes along the trail in the grass. There can also be gators. They told me if the gator is big enough to be a risk, that you're going to see the grass flatten down. But if it's a small gator, it's not going to mess with you. It'll run away. So that gate right there to our left says government property. It tells you not to go down whatever that is. And now see this nice open flooded land. This used to be farmland, but they re-flooded it. There's a lot of potholes. This section of road has been abandoned since the 1940s. This concrete was poured in the 1920s. Pretty rough shape. See some ducks. This road would be badly flooded if it rained recently. It hasn't rained here in a while. They're gonna have a normal dry season. Last year was a very wet dry season. Temperature right now is 66 degrees, but today's high is gonna get up to about 85, and the humidity is not the best. I had trouble sleeping last night in the vehicle. Humidity last night was about 75% when I went to sleep, and it's dropped a little bit, but not great. Alright everyone, we have reached the end of the road. We're going to turn around and park here to the left where all that grass is flattened down. So this road used to continue all the way to Flamingo in the park. The abandoned road is still there. Most of it is hiking trails, but it's no longer open to vehicles. These campsites look like the park rangers can drive down to them though, if that gate were to be opened. I'll show you what the sign here says. We're all packed up. We've got a heavy pack with a lot of water because it's going to be hot today. It's a flat trail, but we're doing it to go camping with the gators. All right, just setting my pack up. I got lots of fresh produce, like 12 bottles of water, tent, sleeping bag, jacket in case it gets cold at night, shoes for the campsite because these are going to get really sweaty. Today's going to be a hot day. I'm already sweating and getting wet, and I haven't even put my 60+ pound pack on yet. There we go. I got plenty of water. Wow, the sun is not even fully out yet, and I'm already super sweating. So here's the trail. This is where we plan on going, right here. If we do get really tired or it gets too hot, I guess we could always stop at that one. This time of year, no one's out here using these sites really anyways. Don't see anyone out on the trails. The park is empty this time of year, so right there is 3.5 miles. The other one is 10 miles that I'm thinking also is a little longer than I said. And down here, as if you want to read that, I'll make sure it focuses in. Highway was created in the 20s. It doesn't mention it, but it was decommissioned in the 40s, and it warns you about alligators and stuff, snakes. And this trail right here, you're gonna see why they recommended I wear the boots the entire way, because this trail doesn't necessarily have flooding. It'll have puddles, they said, but not flooded like the last hike we did in the Everglades. You see that it's concrete right here the entire way, so it's pretty flat. But there could be snakes hiding in the grass, venomous ones. There could also be gators just about anywhere because on both sides of the road is swamp. If you look at satellite images, you can tell it used to be farm. This used to be farms on both sides before they let the swamp come back in yet. Water everywhere. So hopefully we see something interesting out here. Well, all these flat areas and trails leading into the grass are alligators. You notice flatness in there. As soon as the sun starts to bake and make this concrete warm, I bet we'll see some basking gators as we're surrounded by water. A lot more water than I thought. I'm also noticing there are a ton of deer tracks in the mud. There's a good amount of sediment on the road. I think certain times of year this entire place is underwater and floods. Yet again, a lot of alligator trails. I've only been walking maybe 10 minutes and there's more alligator trails than I can count. So I'm confident we'll see a few. And if we look out here, we got all the cypress trees. That's what's out here. This time of year, they have lost most of their needles. They're going into like a hibernation, I guess, for the dry season. There's a couple of bugs bothering me, but we can manage without bug spray for now. Here's a wide open area of water, and The water's crystal clear, but there's lots of plants. There could be anything hiding in there. I'm noticing lots of little lizards called anoles. There's hundreds of them scurrying as I'm walking around. Good areas of water. I can tell there's gators here by the way the grass is knocked down. I don't know when they're gonna show themselves, because that's what's been making these in and outs. Got a whole family of ducks over here. Look at that. At least we're getting into a little bit of shade. The humidity is extremely bad today. That's a vulture flying around. Okay, now we're into a much more overgrown area with little bits of shade. This is interesting to see. Look at this, it's like the highest point in Florida right there. You don't see any hills out in the Everglades. I wonder if this is natural or not. Look at that, beautiful. Those are morning glories over there. My dad used to grow those all the time. Now if I look at my map, I got 3 hours, 19 minutes. I was actually able to set a map because this trail is complete on Google. Some trails, there'll just be little blips of it here and there, and Google can't figure out in between. So this is good. The trail seems to be in good condition. I don't expect any slowdowns, maybe a couple floods and puddles was what I was told. And as far as the tall grass, it looks like they mowed it, so not that bad. The morning glories are everywhere, just surrounding everything right here. We got this big hill here. On Google Maps, this is like a giant square elevated area. I'm assuming there was a building there at once, because where I'm walking now sometimes will flood. And most buildings here are built up on a little platform. The landscape really changed. This is super duper green. Look at the morning glories up in that tree. It's so pretty. Now we're into this grassland. Then down there it looks like we'll hit woods again in maybe 15 minutes. Lots of water still everywhere. Where are they? Look at this. Everywhere. Super dominant areas where they come in. Now the road is definitely showing where the two lanes were. It's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. I thought the grass was going to be a lot tighter together, but at least I would be able to clearly see anything here. We have a fire ant hill right there in the middle of the road. Now it's a bit overgrown again. As the sun starts baking down, it's feeling more and more like a sauna outside. There's one of the lizards I have been saying there's hundreds of. It's maybe only 4 inches or something. They scurry really fast down in the grass and leaves, so I usually can't get them on camera. I've had a couple swamp birds scare me because they'll suddenly just fly out of nowhere. But I'm trying to get a view whenever I can of the swamp. Right now it's only 75 degrees, but it's getting hotter fast. The dew point is 64, but the humidity percentage is 78. Look at that, the road is so straight. I'm hearing a ton of frogs. I gotta stop and have my first break. My shoulders are hurting from all the water I'm carrying, but my legs are fine. I also need bug spray because there's a ton of deer flies that are following me. I don't know if this is gonna help. The deer flies up in my area come around in June. It's now late November. Bug spray doesn't always help with deer flies. I hope that helps. All right, everyone, we have just come up to our first noticeable culverts. I can tell these were put in way after the highway because they're so up. You can tell they had the jackhammer and dig this up. See lots of animal trails out there. Crystal clear water. You know what I should have brought on this hike and I didn't think of it? Ooh, a fish just got in. Don't see any gators. I should have brought my life straw, which filters stuff like bacteria and sediment instead of lugging it out here. Interesting. Look at this. Ooh. Doesn't go far, does it? No, it stops right here. And there's a pallet. What's this, like a hunting stand, maybe at one point? I must point out the algae on the road is very slippery. Look at that. Got some snake skin right there. And the deer flies are back bothering me. They don't care about the bug spray. They'll land right in it and bite you anyways. We've been seeing a lot of this. Bunch of snake skins around. That is a massive grasshopper. We have another shady spot up there. I'm gonna stop. I feel myself burning in the sun too. We have high UV today. I'm sweating too much. I don't think I can really even put sunscreen on. It just keeps coming right off. Now we're in a nice shaded area. The swamp is beautiful, but these flies won't let up. They won't let off of me. Got a lot of fish here trapped in these puddles. These flies are terrible. I'm sweating so much today. Break time. The worst part about today is the bugs. Deer flies tend to leave you alone in the shade, but most of this walk is not shady. So I'm gonna take a little break right now. Sunscreen, more bug spray, but I'll probably sweat it right off. Did you hear that? There's an owl out here and a couple ravens. All the different birds out here are being very vocal today. Look at this, tiny cypress trees. More water over here. Looking for some gators, but not seeing any. I see a couple of big fish. The flies are bad enough. I'm even considering waking up a couple hours before the sun comes up to get out of here in the morning. I just had a huge scare there. First, I'm gonna say I think the gators that I see by the road, the ones that tourists are stopping at all the time and taking pictures, I think those gators are used to people, because those ones let you get kind of close to them. They don't really care. People take pictures with them. But I just had a gator. It couldn't have been that big. It didn't make that big of a splash. It went like, and it just went right back into the water so fast. I didn't know gators made that noise. It was angry. I think we have another culvert crossing up there. Then it looks like we have shade for a bit. The mud on this road is very bad, as far as it's very easy to slip and fall. Here's more culverts. We're gonna see anyone at them. This water is so crystal clear. So clear. Oh, big fish. Fish. What about over here? Finally, some nice shade. Here we have 2 concrete culverts. It is sure dark and scary out there. Something's moving around. You see the water. All right, so here is the trade-off. I'm in the shade right now. The deer flies don't really like the shade, but there's mosquitoes starting to come over to me. While out in the sun, it's really hot and you get the deer flies following you around. I think I can more tolerate the shade because the bug spray is actually working against the mosquitoes, and it's quite pleasant. Oh, what was that? Probably a big fish. Something just jumped. More culvert pipes. And I'm so happy that the Everglades uses metal pipes instead of the plastic. I see lots of fish moving around in there. I can't believe we're not seeing gators out here. They usually love hanging out around the culvert pipes. Okay, we are deer fly free right now. One of them found me. So I take my hat off and I just wait for him to land on my head and then smack. That's how I'm getting rid of them. It's now 10 a.m. Oh my gosh. Our first massive gator. Wow. Look at that. Okay, this one's being chill. It's not showing anger. Most of the alligators are really chill like this that we come across. That's a good 7-footer right there. Nice. Good to see. What about on the other side? I see some fish. And that was exciting. Wow, I just had a massive jump scare. There was another gator there, almost as big, and it just leaped into the water. That was fast. That was scary. So yeah, that's what all these trails are, gator trails. Okay, I think we're starting to get into an active area of them. We got a vulture. More culverts. That is really pretty in there. Lots of fish. The road's starting to get swampy and muddy. Got some nice cypress trees. Then a wide open grassy area. I can already tell that the gators out here are a lot more skittish because they don't see many people out here, like the ones that are near the main road. I was only able to get 1 out of 3 gators I saw on camera today because they're a lot more skittish. Whoa, did you hear that? Something big just jumped in the water and scared all the birds away. Here's another culvert right up here. Ouch! The flies are horrible. Deer flies and horse flies, all those type of things hurt really bad when they bite you. And unlike a mosquito bite, you usually bleed a little. A lot more overgrown, which is scary. A lot of fish in the beautiful clean water. Gotta start using my hat to shoo everything away. Oh, we made it to the first campsite. So, do you just set up here on the grass, or is there a trail? I think you're supposed to set up here in the grass because this is just a cypress forest, flooded. So this comes to show no one really uses these campsites, I guess. There's no flattened area where someone's been camping. But we're gonna try to make it to the next campsite. It's another 2 hours down here. They didn't mow this area, so that again makes it a bit scary of what's hiding in the grass. Status update. The trail, I think, is going to be great for a while because we have turned and now the trail is heading west. So that means the sun is always going to be south behind these trees. So we got mostly shade, and mostly shade, the flies don't like that as much. And there doesn't seem to be any mosquitoes unless I stop. Like I said, there's still hundreds of lizards as you're walking. There's always something moving around in the leaves. Look at that. We got a friend up there on the trail, a turkey vulture. Just flew up in the tree. The flies are back now that it's getting a little sunnier here. I don't think that's the same one we just saw on the road. Maybe it is. Because I think I got it wrong if it is the same one. This is a black vulture. I guess it looked different zoomed in. It let me get pretty close. Still got tire marks. Occasionally the park rangers come down here. Now we're starting to look more like the jungle. More overgrown, darker, muddier. Right here we got some concrete pipes. I don't know if these are original from the 20s. I'm assuming not, but it's possible. Too overgrown here to look at the other side. Beautiful cypress forest. Walking close to these bushes that you can't see in. It's kind of scary. Yeah, the gators are afraid of you here. There was just one up there, it ran in before I even got close. They're timid compared to the main road. Where'd it go? You can see the splash mark. Oh my gosh! A baby gator. Did you see that? Yeah, look. Look at that. A baby gator. I haven't seen a single baby gator in my life. But that's definitely not who made the big splash. Ooh, little guy skittish. Somebody just made a huge splash. So I'm now noticing that I think this area of white gravel is pretty artificial. I think that was put in here as fill. Because you see on both sides it just goes into the deep, muddy water. Yeah, we're not going to see the big guy. It took off so fast. Got a nice bumblebee right there. Or is that a carpenter bee? They look similar. Carpenter bees are usually massive. That's probably what that is. Still passable to a vehicle, but there's branches that are very low. Very overgrown section. I haven't seen the concrete in a bit. It's buried. Even birds way out in the swamp there are afraid of me. And I keep hearing them trying to get out of here so fast that they're flapping through branches and squawking. This is more interesting because these animals out here don't see people often. What was that? Break time. At least it's kind of shady, so not that bad. I just need a little bit of water. We'll be there in 90 minutes. It looks like even back in the 1920s, this road was built for speed. Right now we're going around a corner and it's tipped. Like a little racetrack. This part of the trail has so many spider webs that I keep walking through. When I was a kid, my grandpa used to always say, the person in the front gets all the spider webs, and the person in the back gets all the farts. And anytime he would fart, he'd blame it on a moose, saying there must be a moose in the area. Look at that, right in the middle of the road. From the cypress trees. Now we have no choice but to plow through bushes. Very overgrown here. Spider webs all over the camera lens. I think there's still some. Getting more and more overgrown. In an emergency, a vehicle could still get down here, but it's going to be a scratch job. Definitely no more wide open road. I'm thankful for the shade though, because now that it's shady, the humidity and heat aren't even bothering me. And this hike has now became easy. But it being overgrown, I gotta be more alert for things that are hiding. All right, the trail is a little better, but I'm still having to duck my head a whole bunch and dodge a bunch of spider webs if I'm able to. Yeah, up here it's getting a little overgrown again, where I really gotta duck. Gotta be careful near this deep, murky water. This is where a alligator would want to ambush you. There's fish in there. Getting scary and dark. Here's a traffic cone. I guess for this little hole. Oh, now I see why. It's filled in. There's a massive pothole in the concrete and you sink into it. Take a look at this, everyone. This area looks beautiful. Look in there. Looks beautiful in there. This is nice. I would much rather this, the spider webs, rather than the flies. Most of the spider webs I'm going through are orb weavers, which aren't venomous to people. Here's another giant hole. That's actually a giant pothole. See, right in the concrete. It looks like somebody tried to even fill it with sticks to make it less. It's a big, look how deep that pothole is. What's in there? Did I just see an invasive placo fish? I said at the beginning of the video, I purposely asked the park rangers what trail would be best. I was looking for a place that would have a lot of gators and that would be flooded, kind of like the last hike we did out here. Now I can definitely tell during the rainy season this trail is underwater. I see water lines on a bunch of the trees, very muddy still. And as far as gators, we've seen a really good amount of them. So they did give me good advice on this trail. Now the trail has basically become, I have to use my hat to keep wiping my face off. There's so many spider webs. This trail has more spider webs than I've ever seen before going into my face. Massive cypress forest. And this, I think, might be a massive drainage ditch, because there's a very dominant area of water on both sides of the road. Maybe that's how they built the road, by dredging this You'll notice the new main park road in the Everglades doesn't have drainage ditches really. It's just an elevated platform going through the grassland. That's because a lot of the lakes and ponds in the Everglades National Park are actually quarries where they got everything to build the roads. But I'm thinking this road here may have just been fill from the drainage ditch, because these ditches are massive for being abandoned 80 years. They're doing great. And maybe they've had maintenance, because some of the culvert pipes on this road, I'd say they look brand new. But down here, I don't think anyone's driven down here in a couple of years. Extremely overgrown, and we also have a few trees across the road. Whoa, big bird. It's extremely dark in here too. Whoa, another one. This trail gives you so many frights as you're walking. Things just out of nowhere take off. Okay, let's go underneath this carefully. Oh. There's 2 concrete culverts right there. Okay, right here. This is recent cuts. Look, there's leaves still on the dead stuff. It even looks like it's starting to bleed. It's got a little bit of growth. I'd say that was probably in the last month. Got a solar powered monitoring station here for water depth. And look, we got a lizard right there. That solar panel there looks messed up. So this must be their new one. Got some batteries that look brand new. That one looks brand new. It's not connected. Water monitoring station, I'm assuming. So they know how deep the water's getting out here. We still have another hour on this super overgrown trail. Oh, I had another really bad scare. Giant alligator just got in the water. That was out here on the road. It was right here. See how it's wet? It just got in. Water's all stirred up. That was a big one. We're now in a semi-open area where it was basking. Now we're going back into the nice area. I better take a break before we go back in there. Just stopping for 5 minutes every now and then is great. I get my energy back, and my shoulders are the only part of me that's sore because I am carrying a lot of water because it's hot out. Just went on to water bottle 3. I can start drinking faster because we don't have a lot more to go. I'm a little disappointed that the alligators keep going into the water. I don't really get to take pictures of them, but at the same time, it's probably better that they're leaving, because if it was on the road, I don't really want to walk by them, especially seeing how fast they are. All right, let's move on. We've now come up to an area where the grass... Whoa! What the heck? Oh my gosh. Ooh. Wow. I don't know what that was. There was a ginormous spider halfway underneath my sleeve. It was like dark orange. I was saying the grass out here is like razor blades. I just heard another giant crash into the water. Do we get to see who it is this time? Right there, see where it's wet? Where'd it go? I see a big cloud of mud down there. It's hiding. It's probably not coming back up for a bit. Another big gator. I could tell by the noise it was a big one. Look what we got here. This is the skeleton of a snake. A bird must have got it. I just had a relaxing 20-minute break. I wanted all of the sweat to dry up off me, and it did. Got a good chance to look at the map, and I realized that the campsite is actually closer to the main road than it is where we parked. The new main road. And when we're at camp, I could probably get to the main road in under 2 hours instead of hiking back 4. But we're gonna hike back 4 because we didn't park at this end. And I don't even think you can park at this end. At this point, I'm gonna maybe not even mention it anymore. It's happening so often now that the gators are leaping into the water. It's starting to not even frighten me anymore. It must have happened now 10 times. At least we have a good amount of shade. It's starting to become the hottest time of the day. Despite it being hot, tonight is going to be really nice out. I don't know about the humidity, but the temperature will be decent tonight. So right now what I'm feeling is I'm sweating so much that my boots might as well just be full of water. It feels like I'm walking in wet boots. And it's very uncomfortable, the soles of my feet, because they're wet and I'm walking so much. A lot of birds up here flying around. Look at this. No more wide open area. Now we're really getting into the trees. Look at that. These palm leaves are beautiful. Wide open area again, lots of birds. Look at this little turtle shell. It's kind of cool. The trail got easy again. I don't really want to camp in the grass or the dark mosquito areas, so when we get there, I'm going to try to just set up the tent in one of these open areas. There's no longer footprints in the mud. You saw at the beginning there was a bunch of footprints. Looked like someone was hiking with a dog. Bunch of bicycle tracks. No one has walked this far out in a while. There's no tracks. So I don't think it matters if we set up in the road, but we'll see. I don't know what the situation's like up here. This is what the trail's been like all day. Wide open for a good while, then like this for a good while. Back and forth. We're about to be wide open again, and what's this? Is that a fish or an eel? I guess the birds got it and dropped it. Maybe they're coming back. It is getting hot. Temperatures are getting up now into the 80s. I gotta take a break. Just sit down for a while. Here's a couple concrete pipes. Not 100% sure, but I think they're originals because it doesn't seem like the road's torn up here or elevated. Just had a real good break. With all these breaks, I'm gonna get to camp about an hour later than I expected, but it only takes me, if I really wanted to, 15-20 minutes to set my tent and bed up. It goes up and comes down pretty fast. Trying to get into better shape so I can do some good multi-day hiking trips up north. These ones in the south are not enjoyable. It's really hot. But it's different and a little exciting with the gators and stuff. They're the main reason I'm here. I wanted to see some gators out in their natural environment. And yes, they act a lot different. You don't even really get to see them. You just hear them jumping in the water. Sitting right here on the trail now, taking another break in the shady-ish area. I hear stuff splashing around in the water. Just about every part of this road has water. It's just a road going through a swamp. And even sitting here for 10 minutes, you see I'm still rapidly sweaty. Just trying to get rid of that a little bit. Temperature is now reading 86, and it's about 1 in the afternoon. So we've been on this trail now about 6 hours. Taking a bit longer than I thought because I got to take a lot of breaks, and that's about it. I can't say the trail's in bad shape. It's actually in really good shape. There's a lot of wildlife along it. It's just really hot. Now, to put that into perspective, in the area I live in, 76 is the average high in the summer, and today is way, way beyond that. And we never get humidity this bad up north. Right now, the dew point has gone down a bit. It's now saying 64, the dew point, while the humidity is at 90% right now. I'm not sure which one of those makes you uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable at the moment. I'm gonna take a break for a bit longer. Very hot out. We just made it into an area with a lot of big cypress trees. Saw one snake. Haven't seen an alligator lunge in the water in a bit. Lots of birds angry that I'm out here. Look at this. Still lots and lots of spider webs. More big culverts. Lots of poop right here. The birds have been sitting in that tree for a while. I'm sitting down, taking another break, and I have a raven that came over to see me. 2 of them now. Came to visit me. I don't know if they expect me to give them food or something. That's probably what they want. Okay, we're moving again. I tried to share some blackberries with the ravens, but they didn't want any. They were friendlier than the ones in my area. The ones in my area, you can't even peek out the window at them without them flying away. This area surrounding me, I was just looking at Google Maps. I can definitely see how this used to be farmland. I'm thinking it was some sort of maybe orchard or like orange groves or something, because I'm noticing these massive holes in the ground in a perfect pattern everywhere out here. I'll show you a picture on the screen what I'm talking about. You can tell it used to be some kind of farm and they ripped out so many trees or something. This is the first time I've seen ferns that are like 8 feet tall, way over my head. Now we're very overgrown here. Oh, wow. Those ones are more like 10 feet tall. Trying to figure out the best way through. Just plowing through, hoping there's nothing like a black widow in there. This is getting real bad here. Almost wanna get the machete out. This is bad. Why is this all plowed down? Is this from someone else hiking here? I see an end to it. I just gotta get through it somehow. Okay. Trying to use my feet to get on top of it. Not as easy as it seems. And I'm out of breath. It's so hot out here. Come on. Just trying to step on it. All right. We're through. I like this pine tree. These trails in the heat are awful. So this is saying I got another 25 minutes, but I'm gonna bet you it's gonna take an hour to get there still. Cause I gotta keep taking breaks. It just keeps getting hotter and hotter out now. It's gotta be nearly 90 now. I'm gonna have a quick break. And this is the 4th bottle of water. We're going through water pretty quick, but I'm trying to be conservative with it because we have 10 bottles, 4 out here, 4 back, and a couple while we're camping, but we won't be using much energy. I also have a coffee for the morning. Oh, I also have bubble tea I can have tonight. Forgot I have a can of that. I also have things like corn, and I can drink the juice if we really need it. And I'm gonna have a snack. Try to gain energy. Energy's not my problem, it's the heat. It just makes me sweat and I can feel a headache coming on, so I stop for a bit and the headache lets up. I might only be able to have the banana. My fingers are too sweaty to open the stuff. Yeah, I'm not getting these open, not even budging the wrapper. I finally got it open by just drying my fingers like that, because I can't dry them anywhere. This is wet. Now I'm gonna have some green beans. Look at that right there. Another snake skeleton. Wow. I wish that was on camera. An alligator just ran across the trail into the water. Big splash. But it was a monster. 8 or 9 feet. It just went right here. Just ran across into here. I think it was over here, and it knows it can't hide because the water's not deep enough, so it splashed down over here. I scared it, so it's clearly hiding now. All right, we got something interesting here. Look at this. You can tell alligators have been sitting here, how it's all flat. I don't know if I'm gonna go across this or not. I don't want to fall into this deep alligator water. Water's pretty clear. That is sketchy. And there's a rope railing, or there used to be. The other one here. Yeah, I'm not going across this. I'm very curious to where it goes. Is it just a way across to get to more land? Or is there some kind of like shack or a hunter stand? I don't know. Very sketchy bridge. I just looked at Google Maps and it's not detailed enough to see that bridge or what it might be going to. But surrounding us is still water everywhere. There's a little bump out of land where that bridge is going. Look at this. More snake bones. Look at that. Snake ribs, snake invertebrae all over. This whole area smells like hot pepper. Like, it smells like dried chili peppers. I don't know what that smell is coming from, or if it's the seeds in the trees. Very unusual smell around here. Just killed a mosquito on myself if you see that blood. Oh, another one. Mosquitoes are getting bad in this area. I'm taking advantage of this moment. The sun is behind a cloud and this area is a lot better. Take a look at this too. So here's my map. Look at that road next to us. So we should be there very soon, unless there's any unplanned obstacles. So this used to be a road back when this was all farmland. There's a whole bunch of roads and you can still visually see, even though it has returned back to swamp. And today I've heard a couple dozen gators jump in the water, seen a couple massive ones too. It's returned back to nature, but you can still see on satellite maps it's all square fields with roads going around them. The roads going around them are most likely dirt, so they're a lot more overgrown than what you're seeing here. They're very impassable. But seeing that gator rush across the road has me looking a little bit better now. Look at that. An even smaller turtle got itself eaten. All right, everyone, we've reached the campsite. This is the road continuing. That goes back to the actual main road in a couple more miles. We're pretty close to that, but it's extremely impassable. And it even shows on the map that this is the end of the trail because it doesn't really go any further. Now, there's some stuff here, like a rain gauge. I don't know what that thing with the spikes is. There's batteries, solar panels, an antenna. There's a good spot to set up a tent, but we need to be very cautious. I'm honestly considering walking back another half a mile and just maybe sleeping on the pavement somewhere because I don't know. I don't know what to do because there are a lot of wasps here around that stuff. They're up here in the trees. Can you see any of them? Up there. There's one. You see it? They're very big, massive wasps. I just went up to this thing and I'm lucky I didn't get stung. A couple dozen of them came out and started flying around. Yeah, look how many there are right now. Look at that. Can you see them all? There's a lot of wasps here. Maybe I'll hike back a little bit. Maybe I should hike back to that fork I was showing you where it used to be an old farm road. Maybe that's where I should camp. That's where I think I'm gonna camp. I want to make it back to that. And it's extremely hot. I'm drenched. My whole shirt is drenched. So I'm gonna maybe hang that up before I go to sleep. I'm gonna start walking back to the truck in the morning at the crack of dawn to hopefully avoid some of this heat. This is really bad, and I really don't want to get stung, so I'm just gonna carefully get out of here. I don't know if you can see those things on camera, but there's dozens of them, and I don't want to be there. The trail was also severely bad going up to the campsite. Some of the worst that we'll have to walk back through again here in the next 5 minutes. Right here. And the butt. That was not it. There's something pretty bad up here. Oh, come on. Just plowing through it. Oh. Is that it? Maybe. All right, we made it back. We're gonna set up camp here at this farm road. Just let me catch my breath for a good 10 minutes and have something to drink. Flashlight, bear spray, machete. Now I gotta get these boots off. They're so hot. Put the Crocs back on. I gotta cut the zip tie somehow. And there's deer flies all over right now. Ouch. All right, I've had a bit of a break, so let's go ahead and start setting the tent up. Then I'll have a nice shady spot to sit the rest of the day because it's still upper 80s right now for temperature. And in the evening, maybe we'll go for a walk with a flashlight and see what kind of creatures we might find out here at night. For now, I'm just going to take out everything, the garbage, everything, and we'll repack it in the morning. There's the tent. And we have 6 bottles of water left. That means tomorrow I better save 4 of them for the ride back. And I can have 2 of them tonight with my coffee and bubble tea. All right, that was pretty easy to set up. Still very hot. It was hard to set up because of that. Now I'm going to show you the coolest air mattress ever. Look at this. It's tiny. It fits in this tiny space compared to a regular camping pad or a yoga mat people would bring out. Make sure that end's closed. The first time I used it, I left it open and I was pumping forever. Now let's just open this thing up before we put it inside. I'm going to open it up outside just to show you how easy it is to set up. I would definitely recommend this thing. Now here's how it works. See this mechanism here? Open that up and it lets air in. Check this out. You can use your feet, or if your feet are dirty, you can use your hands. Just make sure that doesn't close on you. This is how it's advertised. You're supposed to use your feet. I don't like it. I like to sit here and use my hands. All right, it's starting to get difficult. It's pressurizing. You want to do it with a bit of pressure. Good enough, put the cover on, and in the morning you just open the cap below the pillow and it just lets it out. Pretty simple, sets up in like a minute. Go ahead, put that inside. I gotta flatten down all the tall grass. Yeah, this is all grass. Pretty cool. I thought that thing was a gimmick. I saw that in a YouTube commercial with the weird AI voice, and it actually works. Awesome for a $30 product. All right, in the morning, we will put all this stuff back together neatly. This is what I got. Got an MRE there for dinner. I also have some canned corn, a bunch of beef and cheese sticks, coffee for the morning, bunch of water still left over, which is good. I'm going to have some right now that we got everything set up. I ate this right here, and we have the corn, some protein shakes, and the other side is bubble tea. I forgot I had that. I'm going to drink that right now. Ooh, grape juice. I forgot I had that. And power banks and a thermometer so I can monitor real-time temperatures out here at night. If I look in the woods behind my tent, you'll notice there's 2 metal poles out here. Can you see that right there? And over here, there used to be a gate on this road long time ago. And you see over here, this is a active alligator trail going into that swamp. So, got another alligator trail, and these are very large grasslands with some water in them. And the best thing about sleeping right here is we have a pretty deep alligator pond right here. You see they got a trail where they go in and out. So we might see some, might hear them in the middle of the night splashing. Don't think we have much to worry about. I don't think that's the type of creature that wants to break in your tent. At least I hope not. Okay, sitting in the tent. It's arguably hotter in the tent because it's dark colored and the sun is hitting it. This mat's really nice. I'm drenched with sweat, every part of me that was in the waders. Made sure to bring the waders inside because I don't need to find a snake in there in the morning either. Socks are soaked, but I'm gonna keep them on. Hopefully they'll dry off. I might just go ahead and, that's always a tight one. I gotta squeeze and put it down so I don't break it. We'll go for a little walk once it starts getting dim and maybe some creatures will come out. In the meantime, I'm gonna just sit in here for a little bit and edit. Although it's really hot in here, maybe I'll just lay outside in the shade. I can move this mat just about anywhere. Oh, look at that. I just laid down for less than 5 minutes and I just drenched the whole bed. I can't stay in this tent. It's better outside with the bugs. Yeah, just sticking my head out. Feels like air conditioning compared to inside the tent. Where's that little thermometer I have? I want to put that in the tent. There it is. I want to see. I can see it in my face. I got a little bit of a sunburn and I kept applying it. It just gets sweat off. I feel sweat running down my back right now. And I'm in the shade. That crystal clear looking alligator pond sure is tempting. Well, I'm sitting on the tent, but I'm completely out of it. And still sweating like crazy, even stripped down to my underwear. This is terrible out here. And we still got 4 hours until the sun goes down. I'm just sitting here with my body outside the tent, editing videos for the past 2 hours, and bugs aren't bothering me one bit. The sun angle's getting low, it's getting cooler, and I just wanted to show everyone, look at that tiny little lizard right there. See it? It's not focusing in great, but you see what I'm talking about. See a little lizard right there? Oh yeah, it's getting angry. It's bobbing its head up and down. Come on, focus in. No, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. There we go, maybe. Well, they do that in a sign of aggression when they bob their head up and down. Also sitting here, I keep hearing fish jump in the water that's only about 20 feet from the tent. Be scary if a gator comes up here. Now, what do you think? If a gator, for whatever reason, did come over here now, unprovoked attacks are extremely rare, so I'm not worried. But would this help in that situation? They have a nose, so I'm imagining this would scare them away, just like a bear. All right, everyone, it's now 5 in the afternoon, and we finally made it below 80 degrees again. That is awesome. Good. It's supposed to be in the 60s tonight for sleeping. Oh, my legs are so sore. I was sitting there with my legs crossed for over 2 hours, and it's starting to get really nice now. The sun is almost set. We'll have a good angle to see a nice sunset. We have a wide open field right here. But while I'm not wearing the big tall boots, I'm not gonna leave our little area right here where I can't see anything. Heard a bunch of fish jumping since I was sitting here. I'm just curious about, this looks like an active alligator trail from there through the fork into here. Wonder if there'll be anything there at night. But they're very afraid of loud noises, it says on the internet. They haven't been known to break into tents, nothing like that. But if you leave groceries outside, they might take that if it's meat. It does say that on the internet I was seeing. You can start tidying this up. Once I open the MRE bag, I'll use that as a little trash can. Yeah, collect all that for in the morning. Very bright flashlight. Lighter. I've got a couple headlamps. Get those ready, because it'll be dark in 1 hour. 1 hour, this is going to be a very different place. Very scary out here. We are like 10 miles from the truck. We're not getting out of here anytime soon. We're going to have probably another 6-hour walk tomorrow to get out of here. But I'm going to try to get this stuff put away and out of here at the crack of dawn. We're not wasting any time letting it get hot out. I want to get out of here very quickly when the sun comes up and try to get to bed very early too. Because even in an emergency, it's probably faster to go 10 miles than it is to go 3 miles here to the road, just because it's not officially a trail. It's just completely gone, it looks like. Just peeking for gators. That water's very clear. See, I hung my shirt up there on the tripod trying to get that to dry out a little bit. I don't know if there's going to be morning dew in here. I'm assuming yes, because we're surrounded by swamp. Although when we went camping at the ocean last week, no dew. I was surprised. Maybe it's because of the high humidity does something where it doesn't dew up. Or maybe it's because we had a nice sea breeze. That's why that was so relaxing. There was a constant breeze. Now it's air's almost still, which isn't great. The sky's getting pretty. It's now 5:30. It's getting darker a little faster than I thought it would. Hear a lot of birds calling right now, getting ready for nighttime. I'm not really hungry, but I should eat something. Sun's about to set. Literally only a couple more minutes. Then it'll be dusk for a little bit. Alligators don't typically come out of the water at night because it's cooler and they hunt in the water, so I think we'll be good here for a while. Let's take another look. 30 seconds later, you can barely see it. All right, it's officially set. You're just seeing a lot of brightness over there. It went down. Now hopefully the temperatures start dropping fast. That would be really nice. But I don't like how it's saying 90% humidity tonight. I guess it's because we're around all this water. Almost about to get back in. You see, I put everything away, everything inside there. Maybe in an hour we'll go for a little look around. "5:45, end of November. Sun is set. Now I'm gonna get in the tent and maybe have something to eat. But we'll leave the screen open. All right, everyone. Temperatures are dropping still. That's what I want to see. Got an orange there. I always like to have some piece of fruit or berries to clean my teeth when I'm done eating while camping. So that'll be afterwards. So we're going to open this meal up today. Menu 9, beef stew, MRE, meal ready to eat. Let's see what else they gave us. It's always a little bit different, the random desserts and stuff. It doesn't tell you that stuff on the outside. All right, we're pulling out the big guns. Let's open this thing up. Yeah, there we go. Especially with the sweaty fingers, I wouldn't have been able to pull the bag open like you're supposed to. Fingers are a bit sweaty, and that's a pretty thick bag. Okay. Oh, we got this thing here for the hot beverage. If it came with a hot beverage bag, that means it's gonna come with a heater, and I'm just gonna eat my food cold. But we'll save the heater. This, you add a little bit of water, you put the food down in the sleeve, and it heats your food up for you. I'm already sweating. This humidity tonight, if it actually gets up to 90% like predicted, this is going to be a rough night. Got a spoon. Here is, this is lemon lime, so it's basically lemonade. We can pour this into one of our bottles and shake it up nicely. It came with a multi-grain snack bread, which is awesome. It coming with this means we're probably going to find jelly and peanut butter. Okay, what is this? Cheese spread. Okay, that's not as common. Oh, look, the MRE came with Skittles. It came with a napkin, some chewing gum, which is intended to clean your teeth, matches, salt, pepper. Sometimes it comes with even other things. Let's take a look. This right here is non-dairy coffee creamer. So we're going to find coffee in here, which we could also have in the morning. Moist towelette, salt, sugar. There's the coffee. I'm not going to have coffee now. I'm already, for some reason, very energized, and I wish I wasn't because I want to fall asleep and get up early. It came with a carrot pound cake. I've never seen carrot, I don't think, a carrot cake in a MRE meal. Came with this nice sleeve right here that you can put your meal in while it's cooking. Yep, here it is. Beef stew. But I'm going to eat it cold. I'm used to that. I car camp a third of the year, and I just eat cold canned food. I don't care one bit. Okay, we don't need this because we're just going to use a water bottle for the lemonade. Not going to use this, so I'll shove this somewhere in my bag where it won't get destroyed. Like, I think we got like a... Where is it? There it is. See, like a little secret pouch here we don't use for anything. Put the stuff that we're going to reuse down in there. Use that for an MRE in the winter that doesn't come with one. Winter up north, not in the south. The winter in the south is still too hot for me. And we got our garbage bag. But just in case something shows up at night, I'm going to keep all my garbage outside. It's not windy or anything. I just would rather something take it instead of breaking into my tent. Okay. Where'd that lemonade go? There it is. Let's give this a try. Open it on up. Look at that fine powder. It's like it's smoking. Let's open that bottle, drink a little bit, make room to shake. All right. Let's pour it in. Carefully, I don't want to make a mess in the tent. Nice. Nice and easy. Put the cover back on. Look at that radioactive green looking. Gotta shake it really good. Because look, there's still some hard chunks in there. These never shake in great. But that's actually a good thing about these MRE things, because it doesn't come with, I think it's called an emulsifier that they add to things these days. It's not good for you, but it makes things mix easier. Because if you remember when you were a kid, well, if you grew up 20, 30 years ago, especially things like Nesquik and stuff, it takes forever to mix it into milk. Old Kool-Aid takes forever to mix in, but newer stuff mixes in quite fast. Because they add things that don't really need to be there to make it mix faster, but there we go. I'm just assuming this doesn't have an emulsifier. Let's take a look. Where are the ingredients? Right here. I don't think it has one. That's pretty good. All right. Cheese spread. No peanut butter or anything like that. So I'm starting to get a little hungry. Let's try this out, the beef stew. So you open it up the long way, like that, and it's your own little bowl. Shake it around a little bit, make it look a little better, and take a look at it. It smells really good. You see that in there? Yeah. Not that bad. And these are the better MREs. Prices have really gone up. When I first started buying these brown bag ones, maybe 8 years ago, these, you could get them sometimes as low as $10 each. Now, a box of 12 is usually $120 or $150 even dollars. So a lot of times you'll see me when I'm camping or even at my house for emergencies, I stock up on the red bag ones, which are humanitarian, what we send to other countries during disasters, stuff like that. Those you can get for $40 a case, and you get 12 of them. Now, the meals are cheaper food, things like rice and beans, but it's packaged the same way, and I don't mind the cheaper food. It still comes with cookies, crackers, peanut butter, comes with everything, but they never have a heater. Honestly, it's worth the $40. These, they're different. That's why I buy them. But as for the amount of food, you're not getting any less. It's just things that are cheaper to make. Good thing I didn't spill it when I just showed it to you. There's actually some broth in there. Well, I don't think we need the spoon again. No. Even my canned corn, I just pour that in my mouth. And when you're in a camp like this, I have plenty of water, but I'm still going to drink the corn juice. Because just in case, if anything were to ever happen where I have to spend another night out here, who knows? You know, I have a good signal out here. But if I sprain my ankle or something and I start going back slow, I'll set up camp another night. Because I'm not the type to call for help unless I absolutely need it. Okay, carrot cake, that sounds good. These breadsticks also sound good. Oh, what's this? I didn't see this before. Pepper sauce. I'm not really a spicy person, so don't really need it. Maybe I'll put that on the bread. Ugh. Bread's right there. I want to try the carrot cake. I love carrot cake if it's actually like that. Oh, yes, it is. It is actually carrot cake. Oh, I'm making a little mess. Get the oxygen absorber off it. Yeah, this isn't holding itself together great. But it tastes amazing. Yummy carrot cake. How about I sit towards you guys a little better? I wish it was more common, the pizza MREs, but they're quite rare. You never get them randomly in a box. You have to buy them separately, but they are an official meal of the military. Alright everyone, I just went ahead and put the creamer, sugar, and coffee in here. I drank most of the water because I want strong coffee. Shake that up nicely, and we're going to have this in the morning on our way out. I thought I would make the coffee now so that I can get out of here as fast as possible when the sun comes up to try to beat the heat. Nice and mixed. Now that's for breakfast. Now I got this back over here for our nightly meal. Alright everyone, so now let's see what these breadsticks got going on for us. I don't know why I keep calling it breadsticks. I think I'm just used to that being a thing in an MRE. So it's a piece of bread. It kind of looks like a Pop-Tart, but there's nothing in it. You got to use the cheese spread. Now, is this going to be like that fake cheese that's bright orange? Let's see. What do we got in here? Where's the little opener? Okay. There we go. Yeah, I think it is that fake cheese, and I think that's what you're basically always going to get. That's how it's so shelf-stable. See that? It's pretty. It's not orange looking, but it looks like what comes out of, cheese in a can. So, got that coming out. Push the whole thing out like that onto our piece of bread. As much as I can get out of there. Try to roll it up and squeeze it like toothpaste. Yeah, we got more out of there by doing that. Try not to make a mess in here. Look at that. Let's see if I can spread it a little bit. It's not the most spreadable cheese, but it's not the worst. Not as bad as trying to spread cold butter that you just got out of the fridge. Try not to make a mess with this. Let's give that a taste. Honestly, way, way better than I was expecting it to taste. It tastes like macaroni and cheese. Yeah, that's also, I'm pretty sure, like a fake-ish cheese product. But I'm happy. I like macaroni and cheese. That's what this tastes like to me. All right. We're going to see what happens if you put a little bit of hot sauce on this. I'm not sure if this is what it was intended for. It was probably intended for... Oh, that just hit my nose. I'm going to regret even opening this hot sauce. Ooh. Oh, there's more on there too. This is the kind of thing I think it's going to hit me in like 30 seconds. Way, way too hot. I don't need the salt. I'll chew the gum later. And I'll keep these in case I have to go to the number 2 in the woods. I already went number 2 down the abandoned dirt road. Went in there a little bit. Then I brought back all the toilet paper with me and I lit it on fire so there'd be no trace of me being here. I want to leave this place exactly how I found it. We don't leave any trash in the woods. And I'm not really worried about a bear. I heard alligators have a great sense of smell, so I'm going to put this outside as a precaution. But if there's an area where I know there's a high chance of a bear, this is going to go in the campfire. But I don't want to make a campfire. It's too hot out here. It also seems kind of dry. Squeeze this up. I'll put that outside in a minute because we're going to go out on a little walk in a little bit too. Okay. Massage that orange. It gets the skin a lot easier to peel off it. Take that little sticker off it. I haven't seen mosquitoes yet. I'm just going to throw my waste right outside. Things like orange peels and banana peels aren't trash. It'll rot in the sun. Oh no. Oh no. I just let 2 mosquitoes in here. I'll have to kill those before I go to sleep. Now we know there's a lot of mosquitoes outside, just waiting to come in here. All right, everyone, we're all done with dinner. Maybe I'll have the Skittles later or put them away for another day. I'm going to have the gum now. I got to get these mosquitoes out of here. I didn't even realize it's not even completely dark yet. I'm assuming it came off of my backpack, but there are very, very small sugar ants in here. Look at that. That's extremely tiny. All right, everyone. I just got back from a bathroom break. Now we're going to go to sleep, so I need to go ahead and close this outer part just a little bit. All right, everyone. I think I'm about to go to sleep. Just brushed my teeth. I had a can of corn, and we'll have an easy breakfast in the morning. We have all those beef sticks left over. I'm not going to walk around outside. I don't think that's a great idea, because at night is when a lot of things like to come out and hunt, like the cottonmouth and stuff. So maybe sometime we'll go on a more decent trail. The Everglades National Park is open 24 hours a day, so maybe we'll go for a nighttime drive another day and take a few of the maintained trails and look for poisonous snakes and things. Not out here where you can't really see much as it is in the day. Okay, it is now 9 p.m. and this is terrifying. I have no idea if it's a 3-foot gator, 10-foot gator. I hear something massive getting out of the water. The deep water across the road. I also hear a loud hum. I think there's hundreds of mosquitoes trying to get in here all at the same time. But that is scary, hearing something big get out of the water. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's technically morning. It is midnight. Just got woken up by something crashing into the water. I'm assuming it's an alligator. We're only 20 feet from the water. It's very quiet. You hear crickets, but you can hear everything going on. Out here, there's just about something scurrying every other minute. There's those little lizards everywhere. But you can tell when something's bigger or smaller. Temperature has now dropped down to 66 degrees. A bit more comfortable, but extremely humid. Very, very humid. I put my pants back on because somehow I feel sticky and humid, but also a little chilly at the same time. Temperatures are not supposed to get any colder, it looks like. Looking at the forecast, it's supposed to just stay exactly this temperature until morning. Then it rapidly starts getting hot. So it seems like as I sleep, I might want to put the hoodie on, so it's a good idea I brought that. But still, it's like sleeping with one eye open because there's so many noises out here. I don't think I'm gonna get any more sleep. I think I got maybe 2 hours of sleep. It is now 1:45 in the morning, and I had for maybe 10 minutes an alligator outside the tent. I heard a consistent growling for like 10 minutes. Then I made a whole bunch of noises, shined a bunch of flashlights around outside, and didn't hear anything run away, but it stopped. Haven't heard it in an hour. But I hear lots of things walking around outside. And unless something tries to get in here, I don't even want to know about it. I'm just waiting. We have 6 hours until the sun comes up. It's a little chilly out, so that's a good thing. But it's not too chilly. The gators, I can hear them a lot. They are so active at night. I heard that they rarely leave the water at night, but I hear lots and lots of something walking around, and I'm assuming it's alligators. I don't know why. I feel like there's some outside the tent. I just don't know what the tent is. All right, everyone. It's now morning, and I'm about to have some coffee. I really want to get out of here now, and maybe I should just wait a little bit and let this tent dry. This is the wettest tent I've ever had. I gotta look around my tent for the alligator too. I got a couple hours of sleep, which was really good, but that was creepy. At like 1 in the morning, there was an alligator somewhere out here growling, which was really creepy. Look at this thick fog. Wow. So foggy out. Look at this. Lots and lots of residue. There's so much dew on this. And yeah, something was out here. You see in the dew? Look at this. Trail going right into the water. Also, another trail going down there. You see where the morning dew is disturbed. But I did get a couple hours of sleep. Once the growling stopped, I went to sleep for maybe 3 hours. Look at that. Look at the amount of spider webs right here. Can you see that? Let's look in the back right here. Yeah, you can definitely see disturbed ground. So yeah, we had some gators walking around last night. All right, everyone. It's about 20 minutes later, and I'm doing a bit better. I was really sleepy when I just got up there, but I could feel it. I wouldn't have gone back to sleep. But overall, I probably got 4 hours of sleep throughout last night, on and off. So I'm getting everything out of the tent. Got my backpack out here. It might even get dew on it still because it's kind of foggy. Waiting for the sun to come up. I'm not going to wait for this to dry because it would probably take 4 hours for this to dry. So I'm just going to curl it up, pack it away, and then I'm going to reopen it in the back of my truck, and maybe it'll dry by tonight just driving around. But that's my plan. I expect to get out of here at maybe 8 o'clock. It's now 10 of 7. So we'll probably get back to the vehicle, I'm assuming 1 or 2 o'clock. Today's going to be just as hot as yesterday. So I don't think we're going to beat the heat necessarily since we're taking off at the exact same time. But at least when I get back to my truck, I have unlimited water. I just had my Dunkin' coffee. I just had the MRE coffee. So what does that leave me with out here for fluids? 3 bottles of water. That is all I have to get back. We're running a little short. So, not a big deal because we're going to make it back to the truck. Right there, I'm burning the paper products. But we're hauling out everything that's plastic. We don't need to haul out this unnecessary stuff. All right, it is now exactly 7 o'clock. Look at the beautiful fog. Sun is about to poke up. I don't see the sun yet. Technically, where I'm standing, sunrise is supposed to be 7:50. Dawn is like 7:20. So we've been able to see for a little bit. Look at that. Is that a blue heron? All right, so First thing, roll up the sleeping bag, get this tent down, compact all this back into the bag. This is kind of smoldering, giving us a little bit of smoke, which I'm happy about. I'll keep the mosquitoes away. Let me get in there, take these wet Crocs off. The sleeping pad, look at the sweat stains it's showing. Now this thing, I wouldn't go ahead and put it in a washing machine, but while the ends of it are closed, I might put it in a shower and rub it down with a sponge, then put it out to dry while inflated. Might do that. But I'll let it get a little dirtier. Watch this. Boom! Just deflated. Now I can push all the air out of it. All right, everyone. That sun is most definitely up. The fog is just blocking it. But I can already feel it rapidly getting hotter out. And this humidity is horrible. It's saying we're at 90% humidity now. And I believe it. Look at the fog. And it's pretty warm to be foggy out. It's now 68 degrees and it's going to get up there fast. So, check it out. Got a big, flat, dry spot where there once was high grass. This was the wettest tent I've ever taken down. And I think it's because it was wet. It was a lot harder to roll up if you saw that. It was trapping air. But I got it put away good enough. We're going to open it up somewhere tonight, maybe in the back of my truck, just drive around, let it dry off, and that'll prevent it from becoming moldy and mildewy smelling the next time we open it. I'm a lot lighter. Don't have much water right now. Ate almost all my food. I did realize I have 2 more protein shakes. That's a big plus if I do end up needing more liquids. Big plus. Take a look at all the spider webs. There are so many spider webs and you can really see them with this sun angle. My big high boots are very wet on the inside. That's my sweat from yesterday. Last night sleeping, I felt more disgusting than I've ever felt before. I'm so sticky, layers of sweat, sunscreen, bug spray, and the humidity on top of that. My pants that I ended up putting back on because I was slightly chilly in the night were very damp, but damp pants were better than no pants. And I did not use the jacket last night, but I did use it slightly as a blanket because it was too hot to put on, but it was too chilly without it. But yeah, there was alligators using this trail last night. I can tell just by the dew how it's disturbed. There was someone going in and out. That was a bit scary, I'm going to be honest. Last night, there was growling constantly next to the tent for like 10 minutes straight. Went away, started up again about an hour later, but the second time it was much further away. And it says on Google that alligators will growl at each other or growl at humans if you're in their territory. Now, even at the actual campsite that I chose not to use because of the wasp, I like this one better. It's more wide open. You can have views. That other one didn't have that. But still, whether I was there or here, you're still less than 20 feet away from their pond. So they're going to be territorial regardless of where I camped. But again, attacks are very rare. That alligator in the middle of the night was just trying to assert dominance. But what made it scary is if that thing decided to come into the tent, I'm 10 miles, 6 hours away from getting out of here. And at the point of doing that, there was another 6 or 7 hours until the sun came up. So that was what I found a little scary. And the morning dew is really highlighting all of the spider webs. The grass is very tall. The trees are very wet. So the boots are going to come in handy for walking through this. 'Cause it's going to be, big spider web. It's going to be at least another hour before the dew and all the trees dry up. Wow, look at all those spider webs. There are so many spiders in the Everglades. And this place is teeming with life. I heard owls. Ooh, look at all more snake bones. I heard the gators making noises. I heard frogs. I hear crickets still. I also, just a lot of random noises. I'm not sure what it was in the distance. Look at all those spider webs everywhere. So, alligators are a lot more active at night. They were a lot more active on land too. I heard a lot of things walking around and I'm assuming it was gators. I heard grass, you know, the sound of something going through the grass. Heard that a lot. Made it a little bit difficult to sleep. But I got 4 hours and that's much better than nothing. I've had camping trips that I didn't sleep a wink. Usually cold ones. The last night, I gotta admit, was a decent weather for sleeping. It did get down good enough. I had a couple mosquitoes bother me right there while I was setting up camp, but nothing bad enough to put bug spray on. And here we go. Walking as the fog burns off. I'm sure we'll see some gators on the way back. It's going to be nearly 6 hours to get back to the truck. Wow, all the spider webs. But I can see them today, so I'm not going to walk through them. They're all highlighted in dew. But most of what you're seeing is the orb weavers, different types of orb weavers. They're not venomous to people, but they're amazing spiders because they eat all the things that we hate. Mosquitoes, flies, everything that you don't like, these spiders will go after. I love seeing orb weavers on the security lights at my house. Such a beneficial spider. Doesn't want to hurt you at all. No spider actually wants to hurt you. They'll all avoid you. Usually when people get bit, it's them accidentally going through their web, like me. I'm just gonna plow through trees. I don't have time to look around for spiders, so that's why it happens sometimes. I don't think I've ever got bit by a poisonous one. Up north we have northern black widows, but That's just gonna make you a little itchy for a bit. Down here, that can kill you. The type of black widow down here. Look at this beautiful web. You see that? Really big one there? It's nice. At least these aren't the type of spiders. I don't know what type does it, but I've walked through the woods before. It feels like fishing line grade spider web. Yesterday, there was so many in the dark areas. It felt like I had cotton candy on my face. It's insane. Wow, the spider webs. I'm going to take advantage of this time while it's cooler out. Try to move as fast as possible before it starts becoming sweaty weather. Ooh, getting wet. Oh, what is that? No, seriously. That's obviously poop, but it looks like the animal ate mud. I'm not even lying. It looks like the animal ate mud, but it didn't make a very big splash. Whoa! Hello, snake. I didn't even see you there. What kind of snake is that? I'm gonna have to look it up later. What's this yellow snake? I'm guessing it's a rat snake. It does look very similar to my corn snake. My pet corn snake, which is a type of rat snake. It's being chill. I'm surprised. I didn't see any snakes yesterday. What do you think? Is that a rat snake? I think we got a spider web on the lens. Yeah, we do. Look at the stripes down its body. Getting a few still shots. I'll absolutely confirm that later. Backpack's probably 20 pounds lighter than yesterday, which feels good. Still got some weight to it. The tent weighs a lot too because it's very wet. Get my water out. Oh, deer flies are back. Oh, come on. I got it though. It's dead. We'll see the biggest gator in the world going across the road as second I shut the camera off. That's how it is every time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my gosh, that was blended in so well. We got a cottonmouth. Thankfully, they are a very nice, kind snake, typically. They don't just go after you and strike. I was a foot away from stepping on that thing blended in. See why it's called a cottonmouth? It's bright white inside its mouth. Okay, thankfully it was a nice snake. It doesn't just strike at you. But you see, they also stand their ground. It didn't move. You got a cottonmouth. Very well blended in. See how it has stripes on it? When they get older, they turn just black. Oh, look at it opening its mouth. Now they can strike apparently 3 times their body length away. So if it really wanted to, it could have got me there. Wow, that thing is blended in so well. We are gonna give it space and get way around it. It's not gonna come after me over here, I don't think. Whoa, it's turning towards me, it's ready. Oh, look at its friend got eaten by a bird. That's why it's so angry. Okay, way around it. Oh, deer flies again. Yeah, that's why I have the big tall boots on, because that's where it's most likely probably gonna strike me. That bird sounds like a chicken that doesn't want to be picked up. Gotta be careful. I'm still alarmed at how easily that cottonmouth back there blended in. Although I don't think they'd be here in the dark areas. Yeah, I got some scary dark culvert pipes. We're in gator area. Perfect area if we're next to the water to ambush. Deep water. So the cottonmouth is the second scariest snake. Second most venomous after the diamondback. But at least the diamondback will try to get out of your way before you even get there. These ones stand their ground like you just saw. They don't move. But they're also, I was definitely within striking range, and it didn't strike. They don't want to strike. They don't want to waste all that energy making new venom. Hopefully they jump towards my big high boots. That's the plan. Hopefully it wouldn't jump up at my arm. I don't know what it would do. I have a couple questions about what I've seen out here for park rangers when we get back in a couple of hours. We're making great time back. We're making good time. It's only 9:20 in the morning. Made it back to the big pothole. And I can see the road is like 10-inch concrete. I'd say within an hour we'll make it back to the other campsite, which is like the halfway point. We're making great time. 9:30 and we're already halfway back. Now we're to the area where you could actually drive a vehicle and there's no obstacles all the way back. Now we're on the good area of trail where we can keep our speed great while the temperature is still kind of cool. But as soon as we hit that corner up there, I expect to get there in about a half an hour since we're walking a lot faster today. Temperatures this morning are not that bad. I'm a lot lighter, not as much in my pack, so that's really helping with time. I expect to get back today in maybe 4 hours time. But it could also get really hot fast. We'll see. But I'm a lot lighter. I don't think I need as many breaks with the light pack. So half hour, the trail turns, and then we're going to be full sun. So that's going to be the hard part. Looking around because yesterday we saw a gator get in the water here. Didn't get it on camera, but we had that little baby one on camera yesterday. Not seeing anyone today. We also got to be careful out here. Oh my gosh, there's a big fish. See it? But I'm more terrified of running into someone that's not very happy, like that 9-foot gator. But you see the water's crystal clear, even in that spot. The mud's just black. So I do believe we'll probably see a couple, because now we're in that area where there's lots of basking areas. Maybe we'll see more snakes. Definitely some tire marks, pretty fresh ones. Park rangers come up to this point. They got to bring a piece of machinery to our campsite. and make that trail a little better. Because the road is in great condition if it wasn't for the debris in the road. But I'm mentioning that because the first half of the road, you see all these shreds? Yeah, they brought a shredder through here, like you put on the end of an excavator to do trimming. And by the looks of it, within the last year or two, they really trimmed this because it must have been very overgrown. Look at how thick that snake was. Skin. I have found more skin and skeletons than I can count. They're everywhere. All right, everyone, we're making great time. It is 10 of 10 and we made it to the first campsite. You can barely see the sign. It's very overgrown. I don't think a lot of people use this. I see tracks here and a bicycle track. Those are from the other day. Looks like somebody had a dog following their bicycle. There's also a lot of tracks around here from the birds. So now we know we are, I think, just about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway. It's starting to get hot out. I'm trying to go as far as I can because the heat is not bad yet. Another culvert right there. I don't see anyone in here. No gators here either. I'm surprised because it's full sun, starting to get hot out. But where I was camping, you could tell with the trails in and out, all the noise at night, there was a good amount of gators there. But they left me alone, despite the one angry one that was there for a bit. A minute down the road, I just heard a massive crash. Somebody just jumped in the water to the right. You gonna see anyone? The water's crystal clear, but they just stirred it up. That was a big one. I could tell by the noise. Big gator just got in. See the ripples? It went in the culvert pipe. Stay away from culvert pipes in Florida. I don't know if it's trying to escape and come out this side, but yeah, pretty big gator to make that splash. It's inside the pipe, I can tell by the ripples. All right, everyone, we just went around the last corner. So we still have well over an hour of walking. I'm making great time today. Straight line now back to the truck. But now that we're heading north, the trees aren't too much protection. We're gonna be almost full sun as the sun is right behind us. No more the tree line blocking us because we were heading west. Don't see any gators here. I'm sure we'll see more though, or hear them. Ow! Deer flies are being aggressive again. The deer flies are only at this part of the trail. They're not at the overgrown areas. All right, this is like my first real break, and we're already over 2/3 back to the car. So I better start drinking some water. I got 2 more left. Better use them up. Got another one. And I got a couple protein shakes, but I'm making awesome time. We'll be back out of here probably by 11. Stretch for a minute, then we'll get out of here. I can tell this area would be often underwater. We're only inches from the swamp level. But look at this. There's so many baby fish trapped in these teeny puddles. Hear all the birds? They better get eating them. This place is so cool. The birds out here are really big and they make prehistoric noises. I've never heard birds like this. I'm having a really good day. I feel like the humidity is basically gone today. I'm not bothered by it one bit. Camping out here was so cool. You know, it's so interesting being out here because you got all the alligators. Had the one growling at me, which was kind of scary. I saw a venomous snake, probably past countless more that I'm not even noticing. Gives you a whole new respect for nature. There's so many creatures out here on this trail that could potentially kill you, but they choose not to. Who's up in the road? Vulture. I know what it is today. It's breezy, which makes it a lot better for walking. We're almost up to this vulture in the road. When's it gonna take off? Why is it there? Is something dead right there? There it goes. Oh, it just went up a little bit. It's not really that afraid. Here's the vulture. This one has a red face. Now, is that an actual turkey vulture or a black vulture? I think that might be a turkey vulture. I know this area has both. Beautiful wide open plains. Now that we're hitting about 10:30, heat is we're starting to feel it, but we only have 3 miles to go. So we are doing well for being 10 miles deep earlier. Okay, we got a nice shady spot with some gravel. I'm gonna take my backpack off, have a quick break. Here's an area with a lot of fish in the puddles. This is the stickiest mud on the whole trail. Look at that. And that's not bad at all. Okay, I have 1 full bottle of water left and 2.5 miles to go, so I timed my fluids out perfectly. On the way in, I would say I was maybe slightly dehydrated. Today, I'm drinking as much as I want because I know I have enough to get back now. Oh, check it out. Our friend from yesterday is still here. I think this is the same gator at the same pipes. Look at that. Big gator right there. Pretty sure that's the same one we saw yesterday. Yeah. Okay, my map is saying that I could be back in a half an hour if I keep up a good pace. All right, everyone. I got 1 more water bottle and I'm gonna drink some of it. We have a half an hour back and this is our last spot to take a break with shade. Look at that. Wide open sunshine the rest of the way. These flies are bad. Just took my last water break. We have exactly 1 mile left. Just ran out of water. You don't want to touch that. I just stepped in a fire ant nest and they're going nuts. I don't think I got any on me, but let's look at the big high boots. You'll see them climbing up. Nope. Don't want to get stung by them. I'm not 100% sure if Florida has muskrats, but there's a big pile here, similar to a beaver lodge. That's what it looks like to me. Check this out. Gigantic flat space. And there's gravel right there. I think when this used to be farmland, they probably had buildings here, maybe where they lived, the farmers, barns and stuff. Because the Everglades floods. But look at this. I've got to be 50 feet above the swamp. And look at a view. Awesome. There's some nice palm trees up here. Morning glories everywhere. Beautiful view. I just had to walk up this hill. It's like one of the highest points in all of Florida right there. I think this is an artificial hill from when it was farmland. I'm sweating like crazy, but only a half a mile back. What is that? Alligator tail. That means it must be a really big one off to the left. I bet it's gonna run away before we get up there. It's gonna hear me. Wow. Like 50 ducks, the same ones we saw yesterday, just took off. And of course that huge noise scared the alligator. Look at them all. All the ducks just took off. Now that alligator's gonna be pissed. We just scared away its breakfast. It's getting hot. Got a lot of ducks around here. Can you see all the dragonflies? They're attracted to my colorful shirt and hat. I got a whole swarm of dragonflies following me. And you know what's awesome? Dragonflies love eating deer flies. They're protecting me from the deer flies. They won't come near me with these dragonflies. All right, everyone, we made it back to the parking lot. I gotta get these boots off. Let's get the air conditioning in the truck blasting while I take all this stuff and put it away. It's so hot out. My shirt is drenched. It's noticeably wet. My boots are starting to give me blisters on my soles. I gotta put the Crocs back on to drive. And we're gonna go find a ranger to talk to and ask them a couple questions about the animals. Yeah, I never flooded my boots. The pants are completely wet. Sock is drenched enough where you can squeeze sweat out of it. Look at that. The heel, when it got wet, was rubbing back and forth. I got a little bit of a blister there on both sides. Not bad though. I'll recover from that in a couple hours. My feet just gotta dry out. To take that sock off, put in the trash, and I gotta put my Crocs on. It is super hot. Feels good to have the air conditioning waiting for me. Okay, we're sweaty, but I'll feel good by the time we get out at the ranger station. There's so much residue on the windshield, probably from the fog, I'm assuming. A lot of residue that won't come off. It's like hard water stains. All right, here we go. Back onto the pavement. All right, everyone. So I just talked to one of the park rangers and I was informed that alligators growling at night is pretty normal. That happens in the campgrounds pretty often. The alligator smells something new, sees an object, your tent, doesn't know what it is, so their natural reaction is to growl at it because they're afraid of it. They don't know what it is. But they won't mess with the tent, I was told. So if we ever camp out here again, I don't have to worry about that. And that area I was in, they also said during the dry season, most of that water disappears, so there won't be many gators there, say if we did that in a couple more months. And that was a yellow rat snake, so that was not venomous. As far as the cottonmouth, they weren't able to answer how it typically strikes. They don't know. So I would probably be protected as far as the boots. They don't think it could bite through that. And as far as my arms, I don't know if it would try to strike upwards like that. Don't know. But that was an interesting hike, and surprisingly I'm not tired at all. 4 hours appeared to be enough to get me out of there very quickly, actually. And I hope today's video is interesting. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. If I see any more wildlife, I'll add it to the end of this video. Look at this, everyone. We have a friend here on the side of the road with a whirlpool. That whirlpool's been there all week. That culvert's been at capacity all week. Hasn't rained in multiple weeks, but there's a lot of water. Nice gator right here. Now these ones are used to people, that's why it's not jumping in. Yeah, so you'll notice right up here, take a look at this. You see how the edge of the road is muddy? Right there's water right below the road. The other lane was in the water for some time because the culverts here just can't handle it. And there's another culvert up here with another friend, so we're gonna stop up here again. Here we go, right here. Another gator, another whirlpool. This gator's always here also. This is a much bigger one. Yeah, much bigger gator. Got a whirlpool going in there. Making some slurping sounds. The water is a bit lower than the other day. Nice. That's a giant one. That's like an 8-footer. I don't know if you can tell. Turning around. There's a turtle in the road. I want to help put it to whatever direction it's walking towards. Looks like a box turtle. It's really small. There it is. There's no traffic. Let's run out real quick and grab it so it doesn't get run over. Here we are. It's hiding inside its shell. Look at that. I like that. Look at that, how it can just completely seal itself in there. So we'll put him over here since this is the way it was facing. Whoa! It's mad. It is mad. It's mad. Okay, just put it there. It was probably basking, that's why it was closed up. Look at this big guy we have over here. That's a pretty big one. Look at that. Look at all these gators. 1, 2, 3. Over here, there's another one. 4. All right next to each other. That is so cool. Oh, look at the bird going across the road. So cool seeing all the gators together in this one spot. There's so many. You can't stop and take pictures of them all. I could probably see 100 of them if I wanted to, if I just kept stopping for every single one of them.